Morning team. As promised, here are the basics on how to get your mindset right, or at least going in the same direction as your meal, exercise plan, and coaching, workout regimes. So it's not really possible with the lifestyle that you had previously. This is no secret. The reason we're here, or where we get to that place where we have, weight to lose or body fat to lose, is typically because we have an addiction to certain foods. Our lifestyle includes oftentimes a lack of sleep, the wrong balance of foods, or at least a balance of foods that are not conducive to our success, and usually an overabundance of alcohol. Oftentimes how we're eating and our lack of exercise or lack of muscle hypertrophy, or working hard enough, can create the body where we're at when we start these programs. So in my opinion, the only way to get to the next level, or the place where you're accountable to your caloric intake and your macronutrients and understanding food and exercise, truly learning and understanding, is to change mindset. So one of the things we focus on with clients is mindset training. Here are the basics on how we handle our day when we're moving or changing a habit, routine, lifestyle and moving towards success in, fat loss and muscle growth. First things first, it's very difficult to accomplish goals or get to the finish line if you can't see the track. Doesn't that make sense? So my track is usually starting with a vision board. And that vision board has crystal clear ideas about where I'm at, where I want to go, and how I'm going to get there. So daily, weekly, and monthly goals are very important. For example, let's say you have 25 pounds to lose. Well, you can do that in 3 months. Most of our girls and boys do that in 3 or 4 months. The bigger individuals for sure. So I want to lose 25 pounds in 3 months, which means I have to lose this much weight during this time. How am I going to get there? Okay, I'm going to wake up at X time. And by the way, that time is usually half an hour earlier than you're currently waking up. I'm going to have water and fibrous greens first with lemon, because that's going to primer my guts and limit glycogen spikes. Then I'm going to listen to a 10-minute podcast or mindset association development to teach me how to get mentally stronger and more focused on goals, because if you haven't achieved the goals previously, chances are you're lacking the tools. Make sense? So we do mindset association podcasting. Then we stretch, roll, and move. Now this is our morning routine, non-negotiable every day. The next piece, of course, you're going to have to eat better. And not just eat healthier foods and more salads and more lean proteins and order less, skip the dishes. Doesn't work like that. If you order skip the dishes every day, yet you're in a caloric deficit or eating less than you're burning, you're going to burn body fat. Make sense? So it's crucial to understand macronutrients and planning half an hour twice a week, non-negotiable, to do your meal prep or what your coach prescribes for you, your chickens, your beef, your rice, some pre-made veg, whatever your plan includes. It's important to have a plan to succeed, because what happens is when we don't have our meal prep done, or we don't have our food available and ready to go and we're hungry, that's when you eat shit. And the second you eat shit, you're off your progress. Now, eating shit gives you a caloric surplus, or having usually a bunch more fats and carbohydrates than we're accustomed to. And that throws off our metabolic burn rate and stops our body from eating itself, eating fat. So getting that metabolism firing and eating a certain way is crucial. Food is 80 to 90% of your success, friends. You cannot out-train a shitty diet, okay? Maybe you can when you're 20, not when you're 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay? That's why so many of us can't succeed when we get older, because, I did this much exercise when I was 25 and I was a beanpole. Yeah, because you had a 25-year-old metabolism. And chances are you're drinking more alcohol now, or more sedentary, and actually not working out as hard, if you really analyze it. Non-negotiable morning routine, crystal clear vision of where you want to go. I often recommend printing out a picture of a physique can you see that from there? A physique that's at a place where you want to be. And when I started, I had sort of two. It was Chris Hemsworth, and my backup was Ryan Reynolds, if I couldn't get big enough to be like Chris Hemsworth. Well, I got a video that I did a little while ago in the summer where it's pretty darn close and almost that lean. So I had 2 ideas of where I wanted to go, crystal clear plan to get there. It's very important to be accountable, and not just to yourself, but you should have a clear plan written down. I also write down my morning routine and what I'm going to accomplish in a day on that board. I also put my weight and my compliance with my meal planning on the fridge, okay? And I'm a coach. I still need to do this. Coaches need coaches too. So it's Monday, weighed this much, 100%. Next day, 90%, 100%. And I track it for a week. And every day I look at it, especially if I'm off track. That's when I put 85% or 90% or something like that, because you have to look at it. You're accountable. Friends, progressing to another level or learning something new or developing your career or becoming a better parent or learning how to accomplish tasks, it requires an investment in time, energy, and learning, discipline. And personal pursuits are actually more difficult because it requires on our dependencies and addictions. Humans are the only creatures on the planet that eat for fun, not fuel. We are eating shit, and too much shit. And most of the foods designed, manufactured, and mass-produced in our country is absolutely there for a profit and absolutely there to last as long as possible on a shelf or satisfy our taste buds to sell more of it. Does that make sense? I promise you the path to least resistance as far as longevity, sex drive, focus, minimal body fat, maximum muscle, having an incredibly improved physique and mindset, and mental health starts in the gut, by the way, is going against this grain and going against society's rules and regulations and what they provide for, food options. What you've seen all day is usually an advertisement, and what's been sold to you is usually not the case. I'm going to give you one more example, girls. This one, I'm going to pick on the girls for a second, and guys do the same shit. Girls, do you want bigger arms? Most of you? No, right? So you don't work biceps lifting curls in the gym, correct? Then why do I see 90% of you doing glute bridges and ab curls and working your core 3 times a week? Do you want a bigger stomach? Do you see my point? When you work muscles to muscle hypertrophy and feed them, they grow. So you want a bigger stomach? No, you want to have a leaner, flatter tummy, right? That's done with mitigating body fat. And the only way you reduce body fat is by being in a caloric deficit or burning more than you're eating. Do you see my point? I hope that helps you. I'm Coach Shenanigans, CEO turned fitness pro. As per usual, if you guys have questions, file them in the comments. If you're curious about our programs and what we do and how we offer it in our award-winning service, you can absolutely DM me, and there's a whack of clients in this community that'll share with you how we do it. I love you guys.